Hello, YouTube. This is Sovereign. I just got home from work. Well, I didn't just get home from work. Got home from work a little bit ago, and yeah, decided watched a little AoE2 um, while I was eating some dinner, which was a calzone, and it was pretty good. Um, I decided to play a game. Sometimes when I'm watching, I'm sure it happens to some of you, the all of you, the many I'm sure that are watching this. Um, that you're watching and you're like, oh, you should do that instead of that, and then it just kind of makes you want to play. So I feel like I manifested this match, not like the matchup specifically, but like the map specifically because I was thinking uh, I sort of switched up my uh, bands recently, and so instead of banning Glade, or instead of not banning Glade and leaving and banning the golden, I think it's Golden Pit, whatever the golden one is, I can't remember if it's Golden Hill or Golden Pit. Um, I had that banned previously, but now I switched it so that that is now available, but Glade is banned because. I mean, it's fine, but I just kind of want to play more open maps. But I knew as soon as I did it, I was like, I bet you I'm gonna get or I bet you I'm gonna get Megarandom now, and then bam, Megarandom. So there we go. Um, I'm playing the Khitans as I have been, and Heebers is playing the Berbers. No, the Berbers. Heebers is playing the Berbers. I did not look up this player yet, but I think they're like, yeah, roughly equivalent elo at the start of this match. Um, 1 second. Sorry about that. Um, yeah, so I don't really know what their thing is, or I think they have like 150 or matches, I want to say, or something like that, and that's pretty much all I know. So yeah, this generation, as you can see, is kind of weird, um, and you can watch me learn it as we go. I'm just gonna leave the colors as they were during the match. I don't know why I keep being on the right side of my matches, and but whatever, it's fine. We could be red. Red is fine. Yeah, it took me like a second to actually start there, which is not ideal. Somehow, no idle time though. That's good. I probably hesitated for a second because yeah, that's right. When we started, like it just looked off. It looked weird. Like hold on, let's actually go back, just cause. So like, look at this start. So I'm on Mega Rand. I'm already on Edge, but you don't start. Um, like I couldn't command these. Like they were acting like they were neutral. I had to capture them. It was weird. So I couldn't move them. And then I saw all three villagers right next to each other, and it just like it's not that abnormal, but it just I don't know, it threw me off for some reason. So I took a second looking, and then yeah, I grabbed the guy. I don't know why they were doing that. It was weird because they are my color in the replay, but I swear I couldn't move them. Like I couldn't select and then move them. So yeah, there's a weird cluster of sheep, and then there's the cows you start with, some deer, couple boars, pretty standard. The resource generation looks pretty Arabia-like, to be honest. Feels like mini Arabia. That's what I feel at first. I'm like, okay, we're just on Arabia. Maybe the woodlines are a little smaller than they are in Arabia these days. This is maybe like old style Arabia, I guess. I don't know, but the minerals. And so I'm like, I see this shoreline, so I know that there's some kind of water, but I don't really see fish. For some reason, I need to check my mods. I have a mod that's supposed to highlight where all these fish are because they're so fucking hard to see. Um, and that was not working. So I was having a hard time seeing where the shore fish were being, and because I it looked like, are there fish? I couldn't really tell. Um, so I didn't want to put up a bunch of docks for just some like gimmick water that doesn't actually have any value. But it turns out it has a little value at least. So I did wind up just putting some extra on wood. And I did this by mistake. I don't know what I'm doing here. I sent this one guy to make a dock, and I forgot what it... I did this by accident. It was supposed to go out here. I was worried even for a second that I lost a villager, like, to this boar, but no, I just sent it to the wrong direction. And yeah, I want to slow down a little bit, because I'm curious. Oof, this is bad. Not so much the doubles, but the fact that they're so far away. Set them behind. No doubt. They were pretty much equivalent. So they have a dock up, I have a dock up. Not too distant time. Yeah, I couldn't see where the shorefish were. I really need to fix that mod. Honestly, they should be more visually distinct by default. But yep, just doing not exactly a standard. Like this is definitely not. You know by now that my standard opening is not like this. It's it's focused on getting scouts out. So there's not so many on wood yet and that sort of thing. I don't go up so late. But I'm seeing all this shore, like I'm really trying to scout hard with this guy to try to establish if there is some kind of a land connection. And it turns out there's not. There almost is, but there isn't actually a land connection anywhere. So I'm basically right now operating on the theory that there is no connection, or at least the connection is so far away that something like a drush or even a man-at-arms rush is actually gonna take a while to get to me. So maybe I have a little bit more time to, I'll get a little greedy with villager count, and then I'll go up to feudal, and then if like some stuff's going on, I'll try to figure it out, and you know I'll have an economy to do stuff with. But if not, I could just go up to castle quick, and or I don't know, if water is valuable, go big on it. But I put a little bit into it, but not too much. I think I actually put sort of just the right amount because like honestly, I was worried that I was getting baited, and basically it is. Like this is it. There's some shorefish around, scattered around. I guess there is a lot in total. Yeah, there's 4,000 in total, but it's scattered all over the place and undefendable, right? Places. And then there's this. Excuse me. So that's what I do. I'm like, all right. I was getting these shorefish with the ships, but I'm like, nope. Let's go here. Also, it was so hard to click. It's so hard to fucking click the rally point on them. It was very annoying. Um, but yeah, so now we clicked up to feudal later than my opponent, but that's at this point I'm fine with that because what are they gonna do? I guess like the only thing that I'm concerned about, I was concerned about was, what if they build up a bunch of archers or scouts or something, and then they build a transport ship, and then they send one transport ship with like 20 units, and I'm not ready or expecting it. That's a possibility, but very expensive to do. So I was kind of just like, I need to build an economy and be strong and then explode once I have a good economy. And I realized I'm like, I haven't fast castled or anything like that in so long that I'm like, oh yeah, shit. I'm supposed to have gold. And I'm also supposed to have wood, but I've been spending wood on these ships. Maybe like four. Maybe I should have just gotten four of these, but whatever, it's fine. I got a lot of food from it. And I fish trapped with some of them, I think, at some point. But yeah, now I'm like, alright, we're gonna try to fast castle, fast-ish castle, kind of slow castle, but whatever. Get the food going. I already have the food. I almost have the gold. I just don't have the buildings because I don't have the wood. So it wasn't really a plan. So sue me for not getting a good fast castle timing, but I'm gonna have a gigantic economy when I do hit castle. So and that's good. I'm doing that on purpose. I want a big economy so that like I don't know what to expect or what to do. Really, I'm like I don't know what to do. I'm very confused. So I just want to be ready to go in whatever direction I might need to go in. So I want to get a nice economy to back up whatever it is that I have to do. Yep, very good. Finally, finally getting the market up. Need to get the blacksmith, but don't have the wood. Now that I think about it, I never use the market either. I'm not a big market user. A lot of games I don't even build the market. But what I maybe could have thought about doing is, trading for wood. But anyway, doesn't matter. I already clicked up. Oh, that's right. I did have the blacksmith. I forgot. That was the first thing I got. Duh. Stupido. But that is true though that I could maybe built this first, bought the wood real quick. I don't know. A million other things I could have done to get up at a proper time, but I get up a little bit late to castle, but it's fine. I have like 40 villagers. That's pretty awesome to get to in Castle Age. So I decide pretty quickly. I'm like, I've already mentally abandoned the water. I'm just like, you know what? I'm just gonna fish what I can fish for as long as I can fish, and then maybe I'll go on to water later if I want to. But I know that I'm gonna have to at some point to be able to get somewhere. But I figure my loose plan is like transport ships. If I see enemy ships, then I obviously have to fight on water. So I build it. That's why the only reason I built the second dock was not for more fishing ship production. It was in case I need to produce a navy, I can produce from two stables, so I can catch up. And yeah, you see my opponent is up just a little bit before me. This is a lake castle, but whatever, doesn't matter. Um, Strong economy behind it. I don't get my upgrades, so that's good. At least I get the feudal age upgrades. And I get the wheelbarrow. And I get fishing lines. Interesting. This is when I was looking at the dock, and I'm like, really? I'm like, do I want to buy upgrades and put out Castle Age ships? Do I want to? And I don't see any navy for my opponent. So, and because like I'm scouting them with this fishing ship, I scouted here, and I'm like, I don't think they're going water. I feel like a mega random, like Arabia banner, because that's what this is. It's I favored Arabia, and then all of my maps are open maps, and then this person probably bans Arabia like I ban Arena, and they have all the closed maps, with Arena favorited or something, and the only map we have in common in our pool is Megarandom. So that's why you get Megarandom. And like I actually kind of don't mind it for two reasons. First, because it's kind of like weird and interesting, and it's like whatever. I don't care if I lose on a weird map that I don't know what I'm doing on. It's fine. I don't feel bad about it. Um, but also, I find that I win. I at one point I had won like every single match I ever played on Megarandom, which isn't very many, but I do win the majority of them, and I think it's because the kind of player usually that I'm getting this map with is the one that I described who wants all the closed maps but has banned Arabia. Um, so they're also not used to this. Like lots of generations of this map of Mega Random are Arabia like in a lot of ways. Not all of them. Some of them do have walls and stuff, but the majority of them do not. And then on top of it, they're probably not comfortable with water either. They probably never play water maps unless maybe like they're like a nomad player or something, which is possible. But um, maybe they have the fire galleys. Or they have one. And then they put this castle here, which is interesting. I guess it does. They're thinking it controls this avenue. It does control the center of the map, so to speak. If I were going water, if I were going water, this would have been really good. And I'm wondering if they build it here because I keep my fishing ship here. I don't know why they don't kill it either. All these things sort of tell me too that like I'm like they don't know how to play water. And like don't get me wrong, I don't really know how to play water either. Like I know some of the theoretical ways that it's played. I've seen tournament play and that sort of stuff, but I don't. I'm not practiced in playing it. So basically, I'm just modifying my normal plan, which is in Castle Age, which is step lancers, get some upgrades, which I hope I do. I think I do at some point, and then attack with step lancers. And well, how do you attack with step lancers? Well, there's only a little gap of water here, so I build two transports, mainly just for redundancy, in case one goes down or something. This is when I see the castle, and I'm like, oh, my fishies, my fishy ships, and I can't see the other ship, the other fish quickly, so I just don't waste time. I do a little, little fish trapping, and that's about it. Just so they don't go completely to waste. But I do need wood. I'm like chronically short on wood. Do you have a second TC up? And yeah, I'm like, I figured this person is probably not building military. Am I how correct am I exactly? No, they start building camel archers. Okay, that makes sense. They would have had to start building them now. Yeah. So they're starting to build these camel archers from one castle, and they have a sizable economy because they've been on 3 TCs. I've been focusing my efforts on obviously building transport ships, building armies to put in transport ships because I want to do a landing. That's my plan. Do a landing and catch them with his pants down before they really have a chance to establish a plan. Yeah, it's perfect timing too because all these villagers are up here like house walling. Now hold on, let me just pause for a second so I don't. I started to vaguely build a wall, like just in case. Like even here, I explicitly build a wall just in case. But like I feel like this is not the move. Can't really. Yeah, no, I don't think that's the move. Palisades maybe, I guess. But the house walling on, I don't know. Put the houses back here or here. Build a wall just in case. A just in case wall would not have saved them, mind you, but it would have been better than nothing. Also, why are they not garrisoning? I have no idea. I guess they're not ready. They're probably shaking. I would be if like my plan was like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna boom and slowly trick out units and eventually I don't know do something with them. I would be freaked out right now. And then of course, as usual, I'm still massing units. These transports are still alive. The navy that they had got killed. I think you guys missed it. It came here and was attacking. So I just had my step lancers. They have range, so they were able to kill it. No problem. They didn't build more navy. If they built a bunch of navy and controlled this area completely, that would have made it very difficult for me to do this. Well, I guess I could have gone on the other side and did a landing, started building over here, production and stuff. That's probably what would have been plan B. But yeah, but plan A does the job as it has been. I swear, I'm not just only showing you only victories. Um, just since I've started posting these, I have, I think, won every match I've played on ranked. But I will show defeats, so long as they're not too short of defeats. Like sometimes, like if somebody has crazy good timing for the elo and maybe they're like a 1200 player but they're not quite there for whatever reason they haven't played enough matches or they just learned some new tips or I don't know what but they hit timings like crazy and they show up to your base with 10 archers before you can do anything and it's just over so that's not super fun to watch but that does happen sometimes. Yeah, they did finally garrison but like way too late and for no reason. Yeah. And then I was just gonna keep landing dudes here, get a little mass, and then, you know, send them in waves, basically. And then once I had a big enough mass, then I was gonna just start destroying town centers, which is probably now, soon at least. Maybe get another, maybe get the forging upgrade or the yeah, the forging upgrade, or not forging, metal casting, whatever the next one is, metal casting. How many pastures? Just wanna. I've been trying to keep in mind not to go too crazy on pastures, but I think I went a little not crazy enough. I went a little too much on gold. Mm. Well, anyway, it worked, and yeah, I'm always happy when like it's a weird map, and I figure out how to make it work. So yeah, I just didn't even have a chance. Not even a chance. Uh, yeah, I had a very specific plan in mind, and lots of step lancers with a bridge made out of transport ships, basically. Pretty close float hours, but they did a little bit better. My economy was more efficient. 'Cause they were doing lots of mass building with villagers up here and stuff. It's kind of weird, not very good to do. I figured it would be a pretty high KD. More resources collected. They took a lot of stone. Yeah, I guess castles could be good for defending the shoreline or whatever, securing the big massive land, but there's not like you want to secure resources, not just land to defend, you know what I mean? And securing the shoreline, um, it's going to take a lot of castles to really secure the shoreline. So I think you'd be better off with maybe towers. But I guess, they wanted the unique unit. And maybe that was their plan the whole time, was to go to, well, no, I, they couldn't have, because they went up too fast. They went up like I mean, this is too slow really for a fast feudal in my opinion. But that I think that's what they were going for, was a fast feudal. So they weren't going for a fast castle. Yeah. So I don't know what the exact plan was. Probably try to figure out what to do because it's a weird map, which is fair enough. More villagers, of course, because I did not invest heavily into economy after feudal age. Feudal age is where I did all of my economic investment, and then I used that economic investment, the payoffs, to invest into an army instead of reinvesting into more economy, and then use the army to, you know, where again, like I said, I think in the last recording, it is a war game, so even if you have the opportunity to go big on economy, if your opponent goes, moderate on economy, and then instead of reinvesting to have a bigger economy, makes an army that kills you, then, well, you've lost because the object of the game is to kill the opponent, not build the biggest economy. Not that, not that it hurts to build an economy, but I think you guys get it. But yeah, not super high overall APMs, which makes sense. It's not like I wasn't doing. There's no feudal aggression or defending or any of that. It was just kind of boom while I figure out what's going on, and then go to Castle Age, and then try to get step lancers across the river. You know, and goal executed. So yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Maybe I'll play another match tonight. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll lose and I can post a defeat. That would be fun. All right, see ya.